This is Random Reviews. During this segment of my YouTube shows, I will be reviewing random movies, TV shows, games, YouTube channels, and videos. These will contain spoilers, so you have been forewarned. And before we even get into any of this, I don't care if some of this information is in the books. I am not reading the books, I am watching the movies. Any info that they don't give us in the movies, that they give us in the books, is total shit. You cannot get me in trouble for not knowing it. And it also doesn't count towards the movie. If it's not in the movie, then, well, they fucked up there. Now, let us begin. To start with, I want to point out this movie had some great and horrible moments. Starting with the fact that Katniss and Gale are in the forest again, hunting. And when she goes to shoot a turkey, she has this moment of post-traumatic stress. I understand that she shot a lot of people, but the exact characters they show us, she should not have seen him and then freaked out about having shot him. He was going to kill Peter and her if he had the chance. And you sure as hell bet he would have done it too. He would not have hesitated. Now, at the same time, I do understand why she did this. Post-traumatic stress is not something to be taken lightly. And after what she's been through, it is understandable, but I would have honestly liked it better if maybe she had seen someone else she had shot. Not the guy who she didn't even kill, and don't give me shit about her having killed him. She did not kill him. She shot and distracted him, and then he fell down to the dogs. The dogs killed him. Doesn't even count as her kill. Now, let's continue on. So, later on, in the train scene, we see her with that crazy lady with the weird-ass hairdo again. I gotta admit, I have to give points for continuity here. She continues to talk about mahogany on the train. Even in this second movie, this sequel, she is still into mahogany. Mahogany. And as much as it was more entertaining in the first one, I love the fact that they actually did do this for the second one. It was great. Now, I also want to point out a very funny and awkward moment in this movie, which is when they are pulling the names the second time ever for them. And they pull Hamish's name first, and Peter volunteers! That was a great part. I mean, totally sticks to his character and does exactly what we all would expect Peter to do, and volunteers in Hamish's place. But before they even do him, and her, well, they do her. And there were no other girls. Like, it had to be the most awkward style of moment. Like just walking over and reaching and grabbing the one piece of paper for the ladies first. Miss Katniss Everdeen. Like, by the gods. What a horrible way to start off. And I mean, it's just not fair. She's the only winner ever for her district in the girls. So she has no choice but to go back. Coincidence? I think not. Now, as we go on, we also see that she raises her 3 fingers again as a universal fuck you or whatever to the district's owners in the capital, which get her and her family in trouble because they also do it back. But when she gets on the train and she's worried about them, immediately that crazy lady just comes over and immediately explains to her, they're not gonna hurt them. Fuck riots in the fucking districts. There would be riots in the capital over that. And honestly, I believe there would be over something like that. Killing a tribute's family because of what she did and what they decided to do back would not have gone well for them. Now, afterwards, though, when they're in the capital, they start training. This part set me a little off, because, well, it just doesn't make sense. She offers the old lady, who is making lures, her information and skill with a bow by basically training her for her information on how to build this lure. Which we don't even see later on in the movie. They don't even fucking use a lure. Thank you very goddamn much. And then Katniss takes her over to show her how to use the bow, and for fuck's sakes, it was completely pointless. The old lady is not using that bow, Katniss. I mean, really. She is much too old to be using a bow like that. And more importantly, the training program in which you were in probably would have gotten her killed right then and there if they could kill people. Though, I'm kind of hoping that they made sure that it wouldn't be able to as a continuity thing. Again, I think on a different level here. I'm going to point that out. I don't think, this is a great movie. I think, if this were real, what have they fucked up about it that would have made more sense? Now, another thing that I don't get are how they set teams. I mean, apparently, they have the career team, and then there's Katniss's team, which is like a ragtag group of probably the best fighter I've seen with a spear in most movies, and an old lady, and that black guy who's really good with electronics, apparently, and that one other girl. I can't remember her name right now, and I'm not looking it up to figure it out. But there's another thing. That girl, what the fuck happened to her? Like, I understand that, sure, she might have died, but I don't remember the cannon going off for her death. And even if it would have, we wouldn't have known that it was her that died. It could have been another member of the other team. Like, it could have been. And then what happened to her? I mean, really, like, I admit, she stabs Katniss to save her life, and then she takes off, and then we never see her again. I mean, come on, at least give us some info on what happened to her. Now, later on in the games, they also have this tree that's constantly being struck by lightning, of all things. Like, really, what the fuck is with this tree? How are you keeping this tree from lighting up? Like, what did you use? A fireproof fucking tree? Do they grow those in the future? If so, I want a fireproof fucking tree. Now, moving on. Now, I want to also point out that at one point they make that entire center island with the cornucopia spin around really fucking fast. Shit goes flying everywhere, Katniss ends up in the water, and what I don't understand is, why didn't she die there? Before any of you give me shit that she didn't exactly get hit by anything, bullshit. All those rocks in the water, at least one of those should have fucking hit her, whether it was while she was falling in or after she was already in the fucking water. It should have hit her. And fucking killed her too with how fast it was going. Either that or she should have fucking drowned. Sorry about that part, but that part really pissed me off. Because she should have died. End of story. Now, even though that happens, she's still alive later on, and they do this amazing thing where somehow that smart black guy uses his ability with electronics to set up a wire that sends a huge electrical bolt straight up to the top of this force field dome. And I say force field dome because on the inside it looks like you're in an open area, and it looks like you can go anywhere, but in the end there's a fucking force field stopping you. But it's not just a force field, there's a dome! When they fucking blow that thing up, there's a fucking dome that appears. Apparently that was hidden by the force field. And they blow a huge hole in the roof of this dome and lower themselves in to save Katniss and that black guy. But what about Peter? I mean, really? Like, you left Peter to be captured again by the Capitol? Of all the stupid fucking things. Like, why wouldn't you leave the black guy? And before I get shit for being a racist, it's not because he's black. It's because I don't know his name that I keep calling him that black guy. Just like there's that black girl from the first one that died. Again, I don't remember her name. I think it was Rue or something? I don't know. I could be wrong on that. But in any case, why not leave him behind and go save Peter? I mean, really, if you're trying to save your symbols for your rebellion, shouldn't you save your symbols for the rebellion instead of just saving half of them? All you did was save half your symbol. And seriously, what the fuck? Why would you leave Peter? Of all the people to leave behind, it is not Peter. Like, god damn. He's important. Oh, dear God. Now, I will point out something that I loved that they did with this movie. The Game Maker, or Master, or whatever they called him. The fact that they start him off as this bad guy who's taking his opportunity to rise through the ranks to the game maker, so that way he can have, well, a better position, I'm guessing, in life. And he has to do better. He basically sells you on the fact that he's evil, he's trying to be all for the capital, and then we see it. Man freaks out, not the game maker, the old man who's running everything, freaks out, turns around to look in, and the game maker is gone. And then we cut away, and we see him on the ship with Hamish. I mean, of all the fucking plot twists, that was not what I was expecting. Amazing right then and there. I mean, just, God, I totally thought that of all the things, he was going to be a continuous bad guy. But no, they find a way to turn him into a good guy, to convince you that, yes, he was doing all this bad shit, but it was only so that way he could set up the games. That way, instead of being able to survive it, they could escape it, beat it completely. Ah, that was amazing. Now, I honestly don't have much more to say about this movie, and I'm running out of time on my video, so I'm going to go straight to the overall review. Overall, this movie, for me, gains a 9 out of 10. Worth the money with only a few minor mistakes that could very easily have been fixed, honestly. Well, that's all for now. Random Reviews will be back soon with a new segment on it, where we'll be doing channel reviews instead of movie reviews for it. Tune in next time, and we will be reviewing dun 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 Team 4-Star. That's right, I'm going to review one of the majors out here on YouTube. I understand I could catch shit for this, but I figure if you're going to go big or go home. See you next time on Random Reviews.